It's good to have you here, and we want to talk about the book, and you guys really look at companies and who's doing it well. And so I guess the first thing we were thinking about, though, when you were coming on is all of these leaders trying to navigate what is a tricky administration and not wanting to show up on the presidential radar. I'm curious what you are hearing from global leaders, because we have a story about Wall Street folks in Davos laying low and being very careful about what they say.
Understood, Carol. You know, it's really tricky, right? It's a very dynamic environment. There are sometimes, you could say that the rules have been rewritten and there are no rules. I think we just default to what we all know because administrations come and administrations go. What's uniform is companies don't like uncertainty. And so to the extent that political leadership can be consistent, transparent, and give companies enough sense that they can see into the future so that they can make strategic decisions on growth, then things are fine. And I think if that's not the case, to the extent that an administration is part of that, and there's a lot of dynamics that create uncertainty,
right,
then it's a problem. I don't have a direct opinion on what's happening today, but what I am hearing is that leaders want certainty so they know where to invest and how to invest.
I think the challenge right now might be, and we have a few examples of this, if you're a defense contracting CEO and you get an edict from the president on social media that says, you got to invest more in the US, we're capping your pay at $5 million, you're not building things quick enough. Or you are, I don't know, the CEO of a publicly traded company that buys single family homes, an institutional investor. And you get an edict, an executive order from the president this week that says no more of this. You're the CEO of Coca-Cola, and you find out, you got to redo your formula to include real sugar and take out high fructose corn syrup. Like, that stuff is coming at a surprise to these CEOs.
Or should you not do it because you think in 2 years the White House could change? Great
question. So I guess the answer is you don't do what you can get away with if it's not good for your business.
Interesting.
And you do what you have to do. And you're bringing great examples up that are business dynamics that are created by governmental action. And by the way, we had this for a long time, especially on Wall Street and in pharma. Government actions and regulation sometimes is not so consistent and makes things difficult. But the fact is that CEOs and leaders get all kinds of things thrown at them every day from a lot of constituencies. So the leadership today, the key word is nimble.
All right, I love that. And I want to, bring in, because there's a survey out, this is from Fortune, about some of the top companies that are out there. Apple, once again, top of the list. And I'm curious, what constitutes being an admired company in this environment or just in general?
Yeah, so Korn Ferry is really proud of being involved with Fortune for many years in this fabulous program. We could spend hours, so I'm going to give you a quick summary. Basically, Fortune looks at 1,000 companies, the Fortune 1,000, and they also look at what's called the Global 500. And the way they look at it is they with our partnership, they query about 3,500 executives across the world. And those executives weigh in on various categories, and it is something you can't game. And they weighing in on their perspective magically produces a ranking, and that ranking turns to be about 300 or so companies. The top 50 are typically the one that's most published and most admired. And then of course you have the top 10, which this year and for many years has been dominated by tech, but you have others like American Express in the top 10. And so it's a very empirical, objective methodology, and the beauty of it is it's not chosen by people who have an agenda. It's chosen by individuals who talk about other companies. And by the way, it's broken down into 45 different industries.
Yeah.
So the rankings are by industry. The rankings then are the top 50 by score regardless of industries. It's very, very powerful report.
Female CEOs leading 10% of the most admired companies. We knew women were great. Hey, just before we go, and forgive us, only 45 seconds. You're going to have to come back. Greatness Code. What do we need to know?
Greatness Code. I wrote it because I felt like we have a crisis in leadership. And as a result, I felt, well, while Korn Ferry trains and helps transform thousands of leaders, that's not enough. There's millions of leaders in the world. So we do what we can. But I said, you know what? For people that are in difficult situations or for people that are in good situations, there are things they can do. So I wanted to empower them with the formula. So it's stamina, courage, resilience, persistence, and passion. Those 5 qualities, plus social capital, meaning a network around them, is what they need to utilize in order to achieve their greatness objectives, whether it's career or personal.